The addition of PR really creates a holistic, integrated approach to marketing that our clients may be lacking. They have these stories that they're able to tell, but they aren't quite sure how to tell them authentically or don't have the relationship building side of it. And that's where we really come in and make it happen.
You're listening to the Limelight podcast, DLM's way of keeping you informed of the latest medical marketing news and insights. Here you'll find expert opinions, real-world situations, and personal stories that will help your practice grow. We hope you enjoyed today's episode.
Welcome to this episode of the Limelight podcast. Today we're talking about press, about how brands and medical practices create opportunities to present earned media to the public, and how that's different from simply posting a blog on their website or paying for an advertisement. So what is earned media? PR professionals describe earned media as publicity or exposure gained from methods other than paid advertising. For example, when a physician has the opportunity to be on a local news segment to talk about a specific procedure or new technology. This publicity gains different attention since it's being earned as opposed to paid for by the physician themselves. Earned media and public relations activities reach audiences that the practice wouldn't necessarily reach with their own effort. To examine these concepts more closely, we have our very own public relations practitioner, Julia Backus, on the call today to speak about how public relations activities are crucial to our clients' marketing mix. Welcome, Jules.
Thank you for having me. This is truly a topic that I am always prepared to speak about. So this will not just be educational, but at least fun for me.
So what do you most like about PR?
I love storytelling. I find that some of the best stories that I've ever been able to tell for clients come from just relationship building with them, hearing them talk genuinely about their practice and their work. It just makes for more authentic stories and makes it just less salesy. No one wants you to just be a salesman all the time.
That's totally true. That's great. All right, let's get into it.
Advertising in the digital space is more than banner ads and sponsored search results. With the explosion in popularity of podcasts and other audio-only entertainment, more people than ever are paying attention to audio ads. With DLM's audio marketing service, we can help you produce an audio advertisement and then target leads on the podcast and streaming services they care about most. Learn more by contacting your marketing specialist today.
So, Jules, at DLM, public relations is a new channel that we're offering for our clients to advertise their businesses. Can you explain how PR is different than traditional advertising or maybe regular blog posting?
Yeah, absolutely. So PR, as you mentioned earlier, is based predominantly on gaining earned media attention. And so this means that while we may vet some pay-to-play opportunities, as I like to call them, more advertising based, the basis of my job is to pitch our client stories to news outlets or people of influence who may be able to signal boost their story on their own platform. A good example of this would be to say we have a new cool sculpting machine at a practice in Grand Rapids, Michigan, and there are no other competitors in the area that have this equipment. That would be something that's newsworthy, and we'd be able to pitch that to the local TV stations or even local newspapers.
Okay, so that makes sense to me. So what's like the criteria or what might be happening at a medical practice that would be newsworthy besides just like a brand new device or procedure?
Yeah, that's a fantastic question, Jeff. I typically find that stories are the most newsworthy, are the ones that will differentiate a business or a practice or a product from the competitors. I mean, that seems pretty simple, but it also could be a simple show of good faith or stewardship to the community. So to expand on why that last example is newsworthy, it's because none of the practices competition were offering cool sculpting services. And that sets them apart from the rest. On top of that, it's a new service offering that allows the experts at the practice an opportunity to educate the public on what this tool is able to do and how it's used.
Okay, yeah. So a little bit of what I would say is like thought leadership or just sharing newsworthy content. That makes sense to me. Okay. So you also mentioned newsworthy stories can come from a show of good faith or stewardship. Can you explain more about that and what those words mean?
As a company, a brand, a practice, whomever it is that we're working with, there are going to be times when you have a fundraiser or host an event that's for a good cause, or even just simply give back to the community in some way, shape, or form. And locals love, and I mean love to hear stories about good things happening. I mean, you turn on a local TV station or read in the paper. I mean, who am I kidding? People aren't reading papers. It's a story online
Right.
or on Twitter, but they're seeing something that is not just the same old bad things that are going on. And that's when you can shed light on some of the good that you're doing in an authentic way that's not going to seem like just an attention grab. Reporters also love running with stories like this because they have to tell such bad news all the time.
Yeah, any chance for a break in the depressing and sad timeline is always nice. I appreciate that just personally.
Yes.
All right, so a last question for you, Jules. How do you see PR working for our medical clients?
I see PR marrying with the SEO strategy that we already have baked into our work on their website, through social media and Google Ads, like an integrated approach. The addition of PR really creates a holistic, integrated approach to marketing that our clients may be lacking. They have these stories that they're able to tell, but they aren't quite sure how to tell them authentically or don't have the relationship building side of it. And that's where we really come in and make it happen. Once a story hits, those assets that we're able to then use from the website or, social media that we give the reporter will then link back to our resources on their websites.
Right.
And that then shares authority from their website to then our website and gives that boost that we're looking for.
Yeah.
So it's a little bit of a longer game than when we implement, say, a PPC ads campaign or send out e-blast specials, but it allows for more qualified leads as these people are already following through after doing research from a third party. I see an integrated approach to marketing as a better approach because you're covering all of the bases.
Yeah, and just mentioning in the SEO world, we refer to those links that you'll get from, news sites are just gold or like maybe even a government site or something like that. If they're reporting on it or they're doing a press release through these authoritative pages, those are really big for SEO and telling Google essentially that you are a reputable source of information. That's great. So this truly is a valuable asset to have those links.
Yes, and it just shows that you're an expert. Like,
Right.
We want to place you in that position because you are the expert. Like, why wouldn't we put you that way?
Exactly. That's great. Well, I know this might be more of a 7-minute deep dive today, but I appreciate learning more about what you do. And this is all great information.
Yeah, like I said before, I'm always happy to talk about the work I love.
Before I let you go today, Jules, we've got a question from our team that I'd like you to answer.
How do influencers fit into public relations, and how do you see that working for our clients?
Thank you, Emily. And good question. Influencers, when leveraged well, can be extremely impactful for a client in generating leads for them. Depending on the client's business, they may already have influencers working for them organically, and they just don't even recognize it yet. An example I just thought of was, say you're an eye care practice and you specialize in LASIK procedures, and you're in a big metropolitan area. There are many levels of influencers that live in your area and need at least an eye exam and are perhaps even looking to improve their vision long term. Relationships like this are harder to come by, but when they do, these people and these influencers, they can help your service offering, and it will also be mutually beneficial for them. And this relationship, it's something to nurture long term. It could play out a little bit like this. Say they give testimonials on their owned platforms like Instagram, Facebook, those different social platforms, as well as help create content for your practice. This could be going through their experience throughout a LASIK process while you offer them, say, a percentage off of their procedure. As I mentioned before, this is something that should be used sparingly for our clients, and making sure that the influencer is a right fit and open to a mutually beneficial relationship is crucial for its success.
So I have a quick follow-up in your response. I just had a thought. When we're working with influencers for clients, how do we know that relationship is working? So the more technical term would be, how do we track leads from any specific influencer versus just seeing it on our end as like it came from Instagram, but maybe not knowing exactly who it is? How do we track that?
Yeah, I love this question because it is the part of the influencer marketing process that is often overlooked. Arming the influencer with a unique code or link to the website will help us digitally track the success of that relationship. So ensuring that we know just how many other potential patients converted through their link or their code will help us decipher if it was or is worth continuing that relationship and, putting more energy and effort into it.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. Okay, that's cool. Just unique links and codes.
Yep. Easy peasy.
Well, this is a great conversation today, Julia, and I look forward to talking with you more in a future episode.
Thank you.
That's all for today's installment of the Limelight podcast. Join us next time for more marketing insights and expert advice brought to you by the team at DLM. As always, we'd love to hear your questions and thoughts, which you can always send to info@dlmconversion.com or drop us a line on our website, dlmconversion.com. We hope you'll listen again soon. Thanks.